But last question is like, is there like you said, you'd be happy to watch on the sidelines with a popcorn, just seeing how things unroll, right? Are there any hints or are there any signs that you might be looking for to, be more risk on?
Um, yeah, look, it's difficult to pinpoint something. The first step is find out what broke. So we're going to hear a lot of bad news coming
Mm,
out over the weeks and months. And if we don't hear a lot of bad news, that's not going to make me feel more comfortable. That's going to make me feel less comfortable because
right.
something broke, right? A lot of things just broke. And if we don't find out what they are quickly, then we'll find out later. So for me, I don't know how to quantify how much bad news is enough for me to then feel comfortable. Um,
Mm,
it's kind of it's a difficult situation to handicap because it just hasn't happened before, right? In this magnitude. So there's no playbook, which is good because it means there'll be a lot of opportunity.
right,
Um,
because it's a opportunity reset.
yeah, because there is no playbook for anybody. No one knows what to do. Well, no one
Hmm.
knows what to do. So by definition, there will be opportunity there. And I don't know, you know, what what needs to transpire and over what timeline, but it's a fluid situation. It's kind of like when you're playing a poker hand where you get your two cards and you're like, cool, I got two aces. That's awesome. And then the flop comes and it's like, you know, 6, 6, 7 with two hearts, and you don't have a heart. And now you're like, well, I don't like my aces anymore. I'm going to be very, very cautious. Yeah. And then the turn
Mm,
comes, right? And it's the 9 of hearts. So that's how I view this, where I don't know until I
God,
see
and
the next
you're like
card.
very systematic in thinking and then like sequential in thinking how you approach the opportunities.
Yeah. So
That's very interesting how you kind of explain that with poker.
yeah, every single day there will be multiple new pieces of information. You absorb that information and you decide how that changed the situation you were in yesterday. And then you kind of compound that day after day after day after day.
Mm,
And at some point, you're like, okay, now I'm less comfortable. I should short the shit out of everything because nothing bad happened. And you know something bad happened, but it's talking about it. Or,
right.
all
Okay.
this
Good.
bad news comes out, a few more exchanges become insolvent, the price of everything drops 20, 30%, and you're like, you know, I think most of the crap has been flushed out right now. Maybe it's time to
Mm,
get involved again. So that's kind of
okay.
how I think this this will play out. But I can't quantify it or
No, of
predict
course.
timelines.
No, and
Um,
it's very interesting, kind of like like peeking into your psyche a little bit because like if you think like that, you don't really FOMO, right? Because you're always waiting for new information to kind of reveal. It's like you almost understand inherently that what we are, like the landscape that we have today, is never final. It's always evolving, right? So like you can always have a new opportunity based on a new information. And like a lot of people don't take that approach. I think a lot of people like see the situation as it is and they kind of like, extrapolate it to the future as well. And I think that's where a lot of the FOMO happens in your psyche, right? So it's pretty interesting that like that's how you kind of like inherently view the information.